In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 5 practical ways to replace old habits with new ones. So keep watching. I wanted to do a video like this because in the past, it was difficult for me to try to change my lifestyle or change the things that I knew weren't serving me. And so I thought, why not make a video giving you 5 different ways that you can make that transition in your life, that you can take an old habit and replace it with a new one that fits you best and, works with wherever you are in life. But before I get into that video, don't forget to subscribe to Transform Perspective, okay? There's more content like this about lifestyle, about growth, and just doing what's best for you. Also, check out my podcast. Season 2 just finished up, but all of my podcast episodes are on my YouTube channel. I also have affirmations and meditations and so much more content. And now that we're talking about old habits and new habits and just like changing our lifestyle, I do want to mention that I have a new business called Relevance, and my first ever journal is called Guided Mind. It is a 3-part self-reflection guided journal. It has over 60 mindfulness prompts. It has questions to guide you each day for self-reflection and also free paper to write, okay? So if you're interested in a journal and you watch this video and you're like, this is kind of a new habit I want to pick up, journaling, definitely check out my Etsy shop. It is in the description below. And if you have any questions, let me know. But let's go ahead and get into this video. So like I mentioned before, a lot of times it can be difficult to, first of all, recognize what those old habits are and just be able to face the fact that, okay, I'm doing this thing or I noticed this pattern and I don't really like it. I've kind of outgrown it. I keep doing it and I don't know what to do about it. A lot of times when we go about a lifestyle change or wanting to be a better person or do different things, sometimes we can be very hard on ourselves or find ourselves in this cycle of doing the same thing that we didn't want to do. And habits can be difficult to break or to change when you're trying to force yourself to do something different or be someone else. So why not just start with some simple steps, some practical ways to go from your old habits into some newer habits, be able to make that swap and that change so you can live your best life, and do what's best for you in a way that's not judgmental or too harsh or just not working. And so the first practical thing that you want to do when you're looking at your old habits is identify your triggers and your patterns. What is the thing that is causing you to do this old habit? Allow yourself to kind of reflect and just be aware of it. Focus on what are the things that come up that make you do this habit. Focus on the time, the place, any emotions that come up when you are doing this thing that you want to change. It is very important to be aware of what it is that the old habit is before you take any steps further to changing it. Sometimes it's really difficult to hold yourself accountable because we're like, oh, I really don't want to admit that this is a problem for me. But first you have to admit, okay, this is a habit and I don't really like this habit, and I'm going to look deeper into it and be more aware about when it's happening. Okay. One old habit that I was really ready to replace but took some time was scrolling on my phone. And I've talked about this on my TikTok and some of my other social media pages and even on YouTube, so definitely check it out. But scrolling on my phone started to become really excessive. And so I identified that pattern by looking at what I did when I came home. When I came home, what was the first thing that I did? Pick up my phone and scroll. When I went to the kitchen, did I carry my phone with me? When I went outside, when I was with friends, I was noticing that I was scrolling in different places in my life, specifically when I came home. And so I noticed that and I'm like, what could I do about this? Another thing is the timing. Typically I was scrolling on my phone at night once my day was over with. Once you're done with work or once you're done spending time with friends and family or getting things done, once I was done focusing on my business, I would prioritize those things, but I would go straight to my phone, typically at night. And so that's another thing that I just wanted to note as I was identifying this old pattern or this old habit that I was ready to change. The second practical way that you can go from old habits to new ones, you can make that change, is by setting smaller goals. Once you've identified what these patterns are, what this habit is, now you can take that same energy and direct it in a new direction. But you want to start small. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. You don't want to put too much pressure on yourself, because you may end up self-sabotaging and not even being able to, go from old habits to new habits. You may just be stuck in the same cycle of old habits because you're not moving at a slower pace or breaking it down and doing, just small steps. You have to start small because it is a lifestyle adjustment to make these changes. And a lot of times habits are small. You may have bigger habits that you want to change, but it could be as small as scrolling on your phone. It's something that seems very small, but it can become very big and affect your lifestyle. So you want to start small when it comes to goals for yourself and changing these habits. So for example, when I was scrolling on my phone, a small goal that I set for myself was putting a timer on my social media apps. So allowing myself to still scroll, but having a time limit. That was a small step for me. And so anytime that I stuck with that goal, anytime I just allowed myself to scroll for a little bit, and then when it popped up, hey, time's up, time limit. If you have iPhone, you know what I'm talking about. I put my phone down. That was a small goal and a small achievement for me, and it allowed me to start somewhere. So it's not just cold turkey. I'm not using my phone anymore. I'm not going to scroll. I did eventually do that, which helped me, but I did start off with, for example, a time limit on my phone. So whatever goal that is for you that you have, make sure that it's small. Because if, for example, let's say I didn't do the time limit on my phone, make it to where I only scroll for, 2 hours a day. If I didn't do that and I was just like cold turkey, I'm done, I'm not going to scroll, I would find myself picking up the phone again and still being stuck in that same habit. So whatever old habit it is that you want to change, just start small. Start small. Just be able to gradually build from there. But don't put pressure or judgment on yourself when you're trying to make changes, in your life, with your lifestyle, within yourself. It takes time, baby steps. And now the third thing that you can practice is mindful replacement. So instead of just stopping that habit and being done, you can replace it with a new one. And I feel like this has been the easiest thing as I'm learning to change my lifestyle and do things that are healthier for me mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, relationally, just in every area of my life. I think the biggest thing that has helped me, I know, the biggest thing that has helped me is replacing old habits with new ones. Instead of just Xing it out, I'm not going to do this anymore and just, that's it. Find something else that you want to try instead of doing that thing. An example of mindful replacement would be, instead of scrolling on your phone, journal. That's something that I've tried as well. So instead of scrolling for 5 minutes, you can journal for 5 minutes. Another one that's helped me a lot is, instead of going to bed or watching a TV show or watching a movie and, sitting in front of my computer and that light just, shining in your eyes, head hurting, instead of going about it that way, getting on any type of electronics, I read a book instead. I make sure I read at least a chapter or two before bed instead of being on my phone, on the computer, or watching TV. And that has helped me tremendously. But it's a great way to promote self-awareness and be able to, grow your vocabulary or get some rest without being in front of some type of screen. That can also affect your sleep. And I noticed that when I made this change, when I swapped out these habits, instead of, watching TV or being in front of the screen, I opened up a book. I was able to kind of wind down and relax. I didn't have all these crazy dreams. I didn't have all these headaches. I didn't feel stressed and overwhelmed because I wasn't looking at a screen before bed. I just read my book, and it actually helped me get some rest and feel a lot calmer. But you want to allow yourself to have something that will kind of fill in that space of that old habit. Once you get rid of that old habit, stick in a new one. And so therefore you're not feeling like, you're bored or you're not really doing much. You're replacing it with a healthier habit that you think will help. And that's going to take some adjustments and getting used to, but it works. The fourth practical way you can replace old habit with a new one is imagining your desired self or your desired lifestyle. So as you are identifying your triggers, taking small steps and reaching these smaller goals and replacing the old habits with the new ones, just be mindful that you want to take the time out to imagine what the end goal is for yourself. What does that look like? So for example, let's say you've done all the practical steps before this and you want to eat healthier. You don't want to eat fast food anymore. It's not helping with your digestive system. It's hurting your pockets and you just want to eat healthier. Now, a thing you could do with this is each morning for 5 minutes, just kind of visualize and imagine what your life would look like as a healthy eater. It could be something specific, like maybe you don't want to eat meat anymore and you want to be a vegetarian, or you want to be vegan, or maybe it's not that. Maybe you just want to cut back on your sugar. What would your life look like? Imagine that, and what would this new desired self, this new version of you, what would they be like? If they're really hungry, would they plan out their meals? Would they take the time out to do research on the foods that they like and try new things? Like, what would this person be doing? This is going to help you stay motivated and also embody that person that you are imagining or envisioning. So it's kind of almost like a vision board in a way, but you would just take out the time to just close your eyes and think, okay, who is this new version of me and how would they live their life? And then you can just copy that. And slowly but surely, you will embody this new self, this new desired self that you want to be. And last but not least, a practical way to replace old habits with new ones will be to celebrate your progress. When you take those small steps, like I said earlier with scrolling on my phone, if I was able to put my phone down once the time limit popped up, I allowed myself to relax and do something that was rewarding. Being able to eat a good dessert or watch something that I like was very rewarding and made me want to continue with this new habit. Now, you just want to be careful when it comes to this, because sometimes we think reward means, okay, I can go back to the old things that I was doing. I can keep scrolling more. But try to reward yourself in your progress and you reaching your goals in a healthy way as well. It doesn't have to be you being super strict on yourself. You can let up, but just find ways that you can reward yourself for even the small goals, because it makes a big difference. Like I said earlier, these habits seem very, very small, but as you keep doing them, it becomes your lifestyle and a part of who you are or how you're showing up. So when you're able to stick with what you said and commit to the plan that you have or the lifestyle you want to live or the person you want to be, reward yourself, because you deserve that. And even if it seems small, it is huge. It builds up, okay? And another thing is, when you're not able to stick with what you said and commit to it, don't be so hard on yourself with the setbacks. Just because you have a setback doesn't mean that you're a failure and you're not able to do it. It just means it's going to take some more practice. It's going to take some more adjustments. It's going to take some more discipline. So it's all a part of growing and learning as you go. And that is exactly why I wanted to share these 5 practical ways to replace old habits with new ones. Because there's many different habits that we have that we're not even aware of and that we don't see. But it's also a huge perspective change when you're able to recognize them for what they are and then take those steps, even if they're small, to change them in a way that fits and works best for you. And it's going to benefit you in so many ways, no matter what habit it is, to do better for yourself and start small and make this transition, leaving the old behind and welcoming in the new. Because you want to do what's best for yourself, live your best life. And so this is a great way to start, these 5 practical ways. So definitely try it out. I hope this video was helpful. I myself am still practicing these steps, but I wanted to share it because in the past, even about I think a year or 2 ago, I was very focused on habits and trying to live a better lifestyle and be better for me. You can go check out some of my older videos, but I wanted to kind of come back around to this and share and talk about it, because we don't always know where to start, and it's been very helpful for me. And I've still been practicing it in many different ways and just being patient and compassionate with myself in the process. So definitely do the same thing. And if you want to pick up a new habit, you can journal. I always recommend journaling, not just because I just created my new journal for my new Etsy shop, but also because journaling can allow you to get to know yourself work through some of your triggers, any trauma, any emotions, or anything going on. It'll help you recognize those old habits and take steps in embodying the new ones, and living a new lifestyle, or just taking out time to do something that works best for you and that's healthier. I think journaling is a great way to do that. So if you are interested in checking out or purchasing Guided Mind, definitely click the link to my Etsy shop in the description below. It is a self-reflection guided journal, and it's 3 parts. Okay, so it has 90 days of self-reflection. So each day you can make that habit to come and write, reflect on your day, check in with yourself. It has over 60 mindfulness prompts, so you can learn more about yourself, gain greater awareness, and just do what's best for you. Sometimes we need to ask those difficult questions, but we don't even know what questions to ask. And so this journal provides over 60 of those questions, so you can get to know yourself and do better for yourself if that's something that you want to do. And there's also free paper for you to write, just like in any other journal. So if you're interested in checking out this journal, definitely click the link in the description below to my Etsy shop. And also, if you want to stay up to date with everything Transform Perspective, everything in regards to my new business, journal, products, and my Etsy shop, definitely sign up for my email list. That is also in the description below. It is going to show up as a free 15-minute guided meditation for deep relaxation. So once you sign up for that meditation, you will be added on my email list. You will get the 15-minute guided meditation, that's free. You'll also get 2 free pages of mindfulness prompts from Guided Mind. And you'll also be up to date with any discounts, any coupons, any new products or changes in regards to my business Relevance. You'll be the first to know. So definitely check out all those links in the description below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also share it with anybody who you think will be interested in, being able to change your old habits into new ones. And subscribe. The goal is still 1K. We're getting to the end of the year. We're wrapping things up, and I'm still pushing and committing to the goal of 1K. So I would love it if you could contribute to that goal and just being part of Transform Perspective, this community of promoting greater self-awareness, learning about ourselves, transforming, growing, and living our best lives. So if you really enjoyed this video, definitely like it, share it, subscribe, and check out Guided Mind. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a transformed perspective.